Well, Mantic Games just blew my mind. I covered this Kickstarter back in April, and they said that they were going to deliver in December. That's like less than 8 months. And I was like, could they do it? And they did. Hey everyone, welcome to Victory Condition Gaming. My name is Doug. Today I'm going to tell you how Mantic Games just blew my mind. They did a phenomenal job with this particular Kickstarter, which I'm going to pick up right here, this mammoth box right here. This is Dungeon Saga Origins. This is the Legendary Edition. This arrived just like a few days ago. I've taken a look at it already. And I'm going to tell you that huge props to Mantic for delivering a very quick Kickstarter and a quality product. Now, this product is not without its flaws. No publisher is going to make a perfect product. And I'll talk a little bit about what I wish that they do or wish that they might have done differently with this product. But overall, of course, a publisher wants to make a product and a Kickstarter pledge where the backers feel like they got their value in return, and not to do it with a huge amount of delay. And I think that this might have been the quickest turnaround for a board game, especially of this size, to be delivered. It's crazy. Like I said, I covered it in April. They said they were going to deliver it by Christmas, and they did. That's less than 8 months for all the content that's in here. It's crazy. It's crazy. So this isn't going to be a typical review video. This is just me giving my thoughts on this particular product and just Mantic in general. Like how far they've come, and I'm just going to say I was a fan before, but I'm really excited about what they've got coming up. If you like these types of videos, hit the like button down below. If you're coming across the channel for the very first time, of course, hit that subscribe button. Love to have you as part of our YouTube community. And, you know, I do these videos every once in a while. So, Dungeon Saga Origins, this is it's like a prequel game to a game that they put out, I think about almost 8 years ago at this point. It's a dungeon crawl. It had some minis. It had some terrain. It was fun. It was a nice little dungeon crawl. At the time, Mantic was still, I feel like they were kind of in their infancy when they kickstarted it. So the Kickstarter had a lot of issues with delivery and all this and that. I mean, normal publisher issues when you first start out in the industry. Nothing, horribly bad, but just stuff that they probably didn't anticipate. But now that they've been, in business for, I think they're like 10 plus years or now or so, this particular campaign has really opened my eyes to how maybe publishers should look at Kickstarter and how they should fulfill Kickstarters and how, what kind of time frames they should set for a lot of these games, because I feel as Kickstarter and as backers as in general, we kind of have gotten to the point where we know that projects are going to get delayed. It might be multiple years before we get them, and I don't think that's very good for the industry as a whole, and a lot of times it turns a lot of people off to kickstarting projects in the future. Again, so I would love to see more publishers and more companies take the approach that Mantic did. I feel like with this Dungeon Saga Origins product, they kind of had everything all in place, and it was just, Kickstarter was just kind of a pre-order, not necessarily a pre-order, but it was kind of to gauge the market to see what they could do with this product line, what kind of response it would get, and then kind of just hit the print button, and then they know how many copies to make, and this right here is not what's going to hit retail. This is like the Kickstarter exclusive, from what I've been told. This actually is the base game with 3 different expansions. So I think there's like 4 retail SKUs in this box, and that's one thing I really like about backing the Kickstarter campaign, was because now I don't have to get 4 different boxes and try to figure out a storage solution. It's all right here, and I think I said that in the video. I think that was a really smart move by Mantic, and I was hesitant that maybe, and a little bit doubtful that they were going to be able to deliver this by Christmas. And they proved me wrong, and I'm one to admit, hey, you know what? I was foolish, and they did, in fact, do what they said they were going to do. So kudos to them. If you're a fan of Mantic, let me know in the comments as well, because I think that they're one of those companies that is slowly, I feel like as they put more products out, the quality of their products have just improved over time, which is awesome to see. This particular box is huge. It's got, I think there's like 4 trays of minis in here. The minis are great, and I'll do a little, maybe a cutaway and do some B-roll of some of the minis and stuff. They're the same minis that are the same quality minis that are in the Hellboy product and that board game line. But yeah, I really am impressed with the minis qualities. There's a few little tiny bendy things here and there, but typical board game. You can take some hot water and bend it back, and it's not that bad. The bases are a little bit warped here and there. The detail is really great. I think they'll be a lot of fun to paint. And like I said, you're pretty much getting the whole line, the whole initial line, to start. And this is good because this is going to kind of give everybody a chance to play this game, hype it once it hits retail, and it kind of gives Mantic some seed money to put the retail products in place. Now, like I said, there are a few things that I wish they'd done differently, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But I feel like overall, it's still very huge kudos to Mantic. There's no don't get it twisted. I'm very, very pumped with what Mantic did here. The things that I would have changed with this product is the box is great, production is great. I'm not a big fan of the circular bases that the minis have. Usually I like circular bases. Circular bases are usually my go-to. With this game, since facing is a mechanic, the way your minis are facing, I feel like square bases probably would have been a little more ideal. Not that it's a huge difference, but I think it would have been. The other thing that I think would have benefited with square bases is so that you could take these minis and play them with, Kings of War or whatever, Vanguard, or, all the tabletop minis games that Mantic does. Because I feel like that's one thing, that's a strength that Mantic has, right? Like, they are really great about making a product and having it have multiple use. So if you buy a board game, like, you can use those minis in their tabletop skirmish games, which we all know that there's a ton of other publishers out there that are like, no, we're going to make it a different scale, and our tabletop skirmish game is going to be a different scale, and you have to buy a whole product all over again. So I think if you want people to kind of play in that ecosystem, you make the products so that you can, if it works in the board game, make it work in the tabletop skirmish game, and vice versa. And I still think you can a little bit. I think it just would have been better if they all kind of matched. Not a huge deal. The other thing that I think I have an issue with, and it's not me necessarily, this is just me thinking later on down the road for retail. When this hits, and these 4 SKUs, because there's like a core game and, like I said, 3 different expansions. I feel like the core box is going to be a good value, but the one thing they did with this pledge is that you could actually like upgrade it a little bit and have like a little bit of an add-on, and it gave you all this like terrain. So you had like bookshelves and barrels and like coins and all that, and it basically took the tokens that are standard and upgraded them, which is awesome because I love doing that with Hellboy too. And maybe they'll do a upgrade pack for retail for Dungeon Saga Origins, the core book and our core box, and the various expansions as well. I don't know, but I feel like Mantic, and I think I said this when I covered the Kickstarter campaign, I feel like Mantic has kind of made a name for itself to be that kind of company that makes really good terrain pieces. And it would be really neat to have maybe not all of the terrain, included in the core box and in the expansions at retail, but at least replacing some of the key aspects of those tokens as 3D terrain pieces. Just so that way people who pick up Dungeon Saga Origins go, oh, this is really neat. And maybe they'll take a look at other things that Mantic has for their terrain crate. I don't know. Mantic will make that decision. I feel like if for me, I would look at the data of all the backers and see how many people just bought this, and then how many people bought this along with the terrain crate, or the terrain box, or whatever it was called. And I forget what it was, like an ultimate pledge, and there was a legendary pledge. This was like the legendary pledge, and I did pick up I've got a lot of the Mantic terrain stuff anyway, but I always feel like it's worth it just to kind of add it on, even though I'll probably have like way more terrain than I probably need at this point. I feel like it's going to be more beneficial for the product line in the long run if they include some of those 3D terrain pieces with the core products and the expansions. This is great. I love it. I'm so excited to get this to the table. I've already kind of fiddled with it a little bit here and there. But yeah, I just wanted to say kudos to Mantic. Like, great job, guys. Like, this is phenomenal. I'm excited to see where this product line goes. I do feel that like some of the appeal to the original Dungeon Saga, because like I said, this is a prequel game line from the game that was created 8 years ago. I feel like part of the appeal was that you got terrain, that the boxes came in like these book, kind of cases. So when you had like all of the expansions lined up, it kind of looked like books on your shelves. So I feel like that was kind of an appeal. So I'd hate to see this product line not get some of that, because I think that there's a really, really solid game here. And if you're looking for a dungeon crawl for your family or for younger players, I think this is a great game just to kind of sit down and play, and it's going to be pretty easy to pick up and learn. And I feel like it's easy enough so that probably those early teens could play it, or preteens, and then just sit down with your family and just kind of play a dungeon crawl, and it's got some great stuff in here. So yeah, I just want to make a quick video and say kudos to Mantic. I'm excited for y'all for this product line. I hope that it does incredibly well for you. I am excited for 2024, because if this is just the taste of things to come for 2024, I'm excited to see what y'all are doing. Of course, I've met Ronnie, and I wouldn't say we're friends, but we're definitely acquaintances, and we've talked quite a bit at conventions. And he's a very delightful person, and of course, pretty much almost everybody that I've encountered Mantic. I don't think that there's anybody that I haven't encountered when I've done shows at conventions that hasn't been really, really nice at Mantic. So, yeah, so I'm excited for them. I think that they're going to do some really cool stuff. And, of course, they're bringing back one of my favorite minis games of all time, and that's, of course, the Walking Dead All Out War Miniatures game. I'm excited to see what they do with that in 2024. So I think, you know, with this getting to backers right before Christmas and people playing this over the holidays, I know some of the rest of the world kind of will have to wait until January or something for this, but the majority of backers got this before the holidays, which is awesome. And then the announcement that they're bringing back the Walking Dead All Out War Miniatures game, I think Mantic is going to have a great 2024, and it's going to be awesome to watch. And let me know in the comments if you are a fan of Mantic, and if you play any of their games, or if you plan on picking up Dungeon Saga Origins, because I'm going to tell you right now, as far as dungeon crawlers go, this is going to be a lot of fun. And if you're looking for something that's not super, super heavy and rules and, you know, fiddly, I think this is going to be a great product line for them in not only 2024, but hopefully for quite a few years. So, all right, that's going to do it for my thoughts on Dungeon Saga Origins and Mantic Games. Blowing my mind as far as Kickstarter delivery. Great job. I hope more publishers kind of take notice of what they did, because I think they've won a whole lot of people over. And I'm hoping that this is kind of a trend that we see for crowdfunding campaigns going forward. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching all this way. Remember, winning shouldn't be the only victory condition when you get to the table. We'll see you next time. Bye now.